Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
Yo soy Savio Vega.
A brand new Wrestling Insiders is up next. Stand by. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
Yo soy Savio Vega.
A brand new Wrestling Insiders is up next. Stand by. All right, wrestling fans, welcome to another special installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marty, Savio Vega. The fans are loving some of the inside stories from your travels in the King of Sports Pro Wrestling, some of your tidbits of information about learning the King of Sports Professional Wrestling. So it's almost like a buffet of information when they tune in and watch these shows, and I think that's a great thing.
That's good. That's good. And it's true stories of what I lived when I was in the company. I learned a lot. And of course, in my beginnings, just walking in and know who is who. Then later to move to how they do the production, where they put the cameras, where's the camera here, where's the camera there, why is the camera there. I just study the shots and look around. In the back when you have to do the promos. So I was doing a lot of promos when it was New York area, because for the Garden and stuff like that, when I was Savio Vega, no? In that show that we talked before about Africa, South Africa, I remember this day, I did my promos, did like 4 promos or something like that, and I finished, yes. So I hear the guy says, okay, who else? Well, this guy has this, and the other one is that, and they blah, blah, blah. They're doing pre-tapes, and they're doing this, and they're doing whatever. Everybody's busy, and we have to fill all this. So I said, well, you guys want, I could do more. Are you sure? I said, yes, let's do it. So I'm off that day. just doing that. So just read. I'm Savio Vega. Hi, Cape Town. How South Africa, blah, blah, blah. So I start doing it. I'm Savio Vega, World Wrestling Federation. I come into Cape Town, and blah, blah, blah. So I did a bunch of promos. What I don't know is that when we get to South Africa, Savio Vega was big time popular there because of the promos.
Because of the promos,
They put me, every promo was Savio Vega, Savio Vega, Savio Vega. So I remember when I coming out the aisle and they said Savio Vega, you could hear the people, whoa! I'm like, what the hell? What is this? Happy, you know, but don't know that it was that. They put me in every show was my face. In every show, every segment or whatever, every 2 segments or whatever they put it, but was there. Because nobody else did it.
Putting that attention to detail is an important thing. And a lot of the guys didn't take their time to do those promos.
And I tell you, I miss maybe I missed the ball, to catch the ball a few times, but I don't regret that. That's happened in life. Because, of course, they maybe pitch that ball and I don't put that attention and let it go or whatever. Then you ask yourself, why I'm not on top? Because it wasn't your way. Your way is to make it over there. Yeah, you're thinking in this, but your destiny is this. Mm-hmm. So I cannot regret what I did in the past with wrestling when I don't took the position like New Japan want to put Muta and me together as a tag team.
Really? And
I leave into another company.
Oh.
So they don't tell me that. I tell them that I'm going. So
and then they told you.
Why you not tell me this before? Or maybe you're doing it just for mess to my head. So I said, hey, I'm gonna get more money there. So I went there, and the company fell out. So I come back to Puerto Rico. That's when I come back to New Japan Rest later. They give me the opportunity to come back. Then from there I went to WWF. So it's if a rock in the middle and I hit that rock and that make me turn my way to another way, whatever. Take your time, guys. If you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it. But if you hurt, it's gonna be hard that any company pick you if you have a blown tire. If you knee hurt because you did another flip that wasn't there in a moment and you hurt yourself and you want to make it to this too big company, it's going to be hard because they're going to train you, they're going to check you. If you got a blow tire, that dream goes down the drain.
Back to the European tour, February of '94, a guy you worked a lot with, an undercard enhancement talent, if you will, Jim Powers, a guy that had a long tenure with WWF, but never seemed to get away from that undercard position in the company. Any memories of working with Jim Powers?
Well, Jim have a good body.
Yeah.
Good person, talked to a lot, but he was into the business. He was into the business. He loved to wrestle. He was a tag team with
Paul Roma.
Paul Roma. I remember the Heavenly Bodies, something like that they call him.
Young Stallions.
Strong. And Jim always was in the gym. He was working out, drinking his protein, and we have good matches. Good matches, good people. We never have a difference. No way. We work always, and he always was happy. His hair like this, you know. That was flare hair, but black.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
See? Same.
Let me ask you this, as someone now that has had such an extensive background in the business and is a creative person, why do you think that Jim never really got above undercard status? What was missing?
Knowing the work and working with him, it's the same. It's just the booking. The booking changed everything. The mind, the writer, that's the one that maybe he needs some balls to tight to be more aggressive if he's going to be, that's the word, to be a heel. Mm-hmm. Or what we need to, how you picture any guy, him in this position, how you going to put him as a good baby face, what movement he need to do. to hook the people. How we gonna sell the car to the people with this guy? That maybe you go, he's good, but well, that happened too.
He had a long run. I mean, he was
Yeah.
there for about 8 years.
Oh yeah.
But he never. At Survivor Series '87, the Young Stallions and the Killer Bees were the 2 surviving tag teams. But other than that, it was just undercard stuff.
Yeah.
For a guy that was, I enjoyed the
Good.
Young Stallions. I thought they were a pretty
He
good
worked-
tag
yeah,
team.
they work hard.
But then they were around so long, they almost became the Old Stallions. So I don't,
I remember Paul
Paul Roma?
like in 1 or 2 cars. Then later, don't see it, and I continue working with this guy. And like I told you, we have good matches. I mean, it's just putting over the character too.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the one. When somebody arrives, of course, you have to put strong that character. Coming with Yokozuna as a tag team from nowhere to be in matches. I mean, they trust me. They trust me
Sure.
that this guy could do work. I worked with them before, all them. You know, Steiner's, Yoko. Never with Macho, but easy stuff. That's why when you learn the book, you could work anywhere and with anybody. Easy.
What about on that same tour, my partner in crime on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. that just texted me, Marty Jannetty,
Marty.
I believe was fired for the 85th time on that tour. Do you remember what Marty did
Wow.
on that time to be axed from the company?
I think he got too many drinks.
Too many.
Too many drinks.
Well, that was just about every night.
He was, yeah. I remember he with his hat go like, hey, man. But too many, I mean, the company, of course, they want to, like now on, and every company want to do it. They want to keep the clean name or whatever. Was kind of a hard to get all those guys, you know, with the good face when there we are every night in a bar.
Right.
You know, they don't want no drugs, but they make you alcoholic.
And these weren't during the days when it was 4 days on, 3 days off. These were when you were on extensive tours.
Well, those guys in the 80s, they
Even longer. They laughed at what happened in the 90s.
sometimes a month.
I remember Sheiky Baby in this studio one time said he did 102 straight days before he went home. I mean, how do you stay grounded to reality at that point?
man.
Especially with you're not talking about a territory with WWF. You're talking about flying to different cities in airplanes almost every one of those 102 days.
Yeah.
You know?
No, when my time, you know, I coming from Puerto Rico, so sometimes I pick one, and in 4 days I take. Sometimes I would took in about 8 planes.
Yeah.
San Juan to Miami, Chicago, or New York, Boston area, whatever, or Dallas to go to LA.
When you were in WWF, did you live in San Juan?
All
Still?
the time.
Okay.
They want me to move because that was coming in the company to have everybody in mainland. But when the lady that talked to me about, hey, we're looking to see if you move to the States, I said, listen, I just bought a house. So I'm going to be paying a house there. You're going to make me pay a house over here.
Right.
Brett and Owen coming from Calgary, and you pay them all the time to come. So, hey, and it's just 2.5 hours from mainland to San Juan.
Right, not
And
too
so
too
they
far.
say, that's okay. They keep me there. They don't bother me no more. So I'll leave in
They
Puerto
only
Rico.
asked you one time.
Yeah, and sometimes I was flying home on Wednesday morning and Thursday back to the States because
Wow.
we go into Europe or something like that. So sometimes one time, Christmas, a Saturday there, one time
Really?
in those 4 or 5 years.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Aside from his firing on the European tour, memories of my good friend Marty Jannetty. Hell of an athlete, hell of a wrestler. I mean, got a great mind for the
Man,
business.
When with that ankle that he had when he was hurt, he was in the ring one time, and I believe we have like a battle royal or something, but it was independent years later.
Yeah, I think it was on a WrestleMania weekend, if I remember right. Yeah, and I can't believe he got in the ring and did it.
Yeah, and we took care of him. We tried, but I mean, I see that leg like that. Oof, good that he's okay now. Huh?
It's a shame that he's run into the problems he has because, again, he's got a great mind
Yes.
for professional wrestling. He can break stuff down like nobody's business. I think he would be, if the world was a perfect place, which we know it's not, I think he'd be a great trainer, clear-headed at the Performance Center down for WWE or another one of the major companies
So,
that are out
brother,
there.
what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Well, he's got to get his second ankle fixed, and then hopefully everything for Marty, it'll just be nice, smooth sailing. Because he's got a lot to contribute. As I've said to him on the show, I'm looking forward to, once we actually are able to have live events again, having him be almost like a player coach, where he can try and incorporate
But he
his
need to be
wisdoms,
straight.
his values, his mistakes to the independent talent and the superstars of tomorrow. I think he has a lot of value doing that.
Good. Yeah, he got a lot of experience. He have some mileage in the road.
Oh, a lot of
Huh?
mileage.
So,
In and out of the ring.
yeah, of course. I know.
Maybe out of the ring
So,
more than in the
brother,
ring.
what are you waiting for?
Well, maybe 2021 will be the year of Marty Jannetty. We can only hope. But every
The ball
Thursday,
is in your court.
every Thursday night at 10 p.m., we have the Party with Marty right here on the show, and we have a heck of a lot of fun. I come up
Party
with
with Marty.
topics, and I tell you, if we hit 10% out of it, maybe, because Marty can drift and go off in many different directions, but that's the way his life has gone. It's almost like those road maps you were talking about.
Yeah.
He tries to go from Boston to Miami, but he winds up in Denver, Colorado first. You know what I mean? He eventually gets there.
Yeah.
It just takes a little bit of time
Little time,
sometimes.
little time.
But he's a good human being. I think
Yes.
the world of Marty.
That's true.
Around that time frame, winter of 1994, a man I think a lot of that broke into the company around the same time as you, at that time known as Thurman Sparky Plug, Bob Hawley.
Yes, Bob. Yes, I remember in the beginning. I was there a little bit before than him, if I'm not wrong. So all the guys that are right there, they just want to go early to bed and go to the gym and polite, and nobody want to do nothing. I remember here Fuji say one of the stories for Yoko, and I played the same joke to Plug, and he wanted to go early to bed. With him was oh my God, my head and names. He coming from ECW.
In 94,
Yeah, he was in
he came in from ECW in 94.
the Cuervo.
The Crow?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
The Crow? Raven. Johnny
Raven,
Polo.
Exactly, Johnny Polo. So was all three starting in the company. We come almost at the same time.
He was
Yes.
a manager for the Jacques and Pierre, the Quebecers at that point.
Yeah, okay.
He really wasn't wrestling
He
much.
wasn't.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know what happened. We stay in the same room. I mean, I was in the other room.
You,
whatever.
Bob, and Raven?
Was something like that. I just started putting the chairs and the table on top of Spike Plug, and he was pissed. He come mad. He want to fight me.
Really?
Yeah. And Raven was there. Come on, guys. Come on. You know. I was laughing. And see Spark more hot make me more laugh. So he was hot. He want to fight me, but nothing happened. We come in good friends. We worked many times too, wrestle many times. And what is interesting, his story with the cars, you know, the racing cars.
Yeah, in real life.
He loved, real life driver. And when WWF did his car, you know, and everybody was making a joke because when he raced, he hit the wall. You know, something happened, and all the guys, you know the boys, they start making jokes and blah blah blah. But Spark was there for more than 10 years, in the company.
Oh, are you kidding me? He was there from 90, right around the same time you joined the company in early 94 through 2010, so 16 years.
Wow.
He had a hell of a run.
Yes, you know, and he always liked to train. He trained with Sid Vicious. He was trained with him.
He said, he's told me they were very good friends.
Oh
yeah.
yes, yeah. Everywhere they go, and Spark was a clean guy. Sid was a clean guy. So I mean, they're all the time in the gym.
Bob, I think it's safe to say, has a strong personality.
Yeah.
I think that's very easy to say.
Yeah.
He does not have a problem sharing his opinions, but I like Bob an awful lot in the things we've done with him over the year. His book is one of the better wrestling books out there. If you've never read it, The Hardcore Truth, very honest, very upfront, very blunt, just like Bob himself. And for, again, a guy that never reached that main event type level, he was approaching upper tier status a couple of times, and then I remember he had his neck broken once, and so the injury bug hit him a couple of times, and no fault of his own. But again, how many guys can say they had a 16-year non-stop run in WWF?
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah. And one time we bring some guys to Puerto Rico, and they do some voiceovers. We request some voiceovers. The same, my name is this, I come into IWA Puerto Rico, blah, blah, blah. And I remember the guys from television, they let the tape roll. And every time he wanted to say Puerto Rico was like misunderstood or was something, and he started cursing on Puerto Rican. Oh, Puerto Rican this and that. Oh, that shithole. And he was, and the guy sent me the tape. So listen to this guy. And I'm like, oh my God. Victor wanted to talk to Vince about it. I said, don't worry. That's boys. That's, So when he come, I tell him, man, what are you talking about that? Oh, I just mad. I said, okay, don't worry. Shit happened.
Well, that's just kind of his personality, I guess. Yeah,
he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I'd rather deal with someone upfront and honest.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it.
Spark Bob Holly.
Also around the time you came in '94, as you see in 2020 right now, I think WWE has gotten to the point where they've overdone it with the women's wrestling, but they brought back the women's championship with Alundra Blaze. She would basically be the only babyface woman that they had, and they'd bring in rotating heels for her to face from time to time. Where spots on these shows were limited, where they cut back, a lot of the times they weren't always even doing A and B shows. Was there resentment towards having the women back on the cards, or it was taking away spots from the guys who were sitting at home not getting a payday?
Yeah, but she worked hard. She was one of the first female that bring that strong wrestling,
She worked like one of the boys.
Oh, yeah. Nice, good body, good attitude and attitude. And she worked hard. She gave him that different stuff of woman wrestling, Now these days, of course, it's like they doing what she was doing in that time. Because the girls these days, they work hard. I love the women's. WWF have a great talent of girls working. And, that was like when I was in TNA, that I worked with those knockouts. I was working with those girls like that. Be strong and with, strong work. And Alundra Blaze was one of those girls. I mean, she was one of the pioneers, I believe, in kind of a strong, it was like a Japan style.
Not the Moolah style.
No.
Yeah.
No. It was very, very different. Strong wrestling, man wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit different, of course, because the girls, but was strong, solid.
An athlete.
Exactly.
Yeah, she was one of the more impressive females, I think, in the history of WWF. Yeah. But was there any resentment from the guys that the girls were now going to take up a limited spot on the house shows?
You know what? I wasn't hooked on those political gaga with the guys. Maybe by that time was the Shawns and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know who, But I was doing my stuff. I loved what I was doing as Quine, and that political gaga was for those guys there racing for that spot. I wasn't there. I know my time come anytime soon. So
she was treated with respect.
Well, with me, she always was nice person. I respect her all the time, her and all the rest of the ladies. But she was good.
What about the big one, March the 20th, 1994, Madison Square Garden, New York, WrestleMania 10. Were you disappointed that there wasn't a spot for Quang on the show?
No,
Were you?
I remember that. I was there. But wow, could have been good there. But I have to wait, 2 years?
2 more years you had to wait to finally be WrestleMania.
I didn't even know.
And it was no Quang, that's for sure.
It was a good point to put the Quang gimmick, maybe first match, something quick there. The green stuff, the red stuff, and whoa, give us some color, let's go home. I don't know. that's already
you were
gone.
at the show, I imagine.
I was there.
Yeah.
I remember WrestleMania 10. It was 10, 11.
Did you get to meet any of the interesting celebrities that came in? The Burt Reynolds and
I got a photo with Burt Reynolds. I have one with Tyson.
oh, Iron Mike Tyson. When that was in Boston. Yep.
Yeah, they did a show somewhere. I got oh my God, the beach blonde girl.
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
She was at WrestleMania 11. That's right, in the Royal Rumble that year too. They did an interesting thing with poor Howard Finkel when they put him under the wig for that show, because they had a Cy Sperling for Hair Club for Men came in, and the Fink was under a wig. How about some memories of Howard Finkel, a man who we just lost several months ago that was with that company? He and my good friend Ed Cohen were the first two employees that Vince and Linda McMahon hired when they took over from Vince McMahon Sr. Your memories of the Fink?
Fink speaks Spanish, and sometimes we spoke Spanish to keep him warm on that, you know. Great people, nice people, all the time treat me with big time respect. When I arrived at the company and we start doing the Savio Vega, and know the Savio Vega is Puerto Rican, so we did. He did like a radio show, and I did couple of times. I did that radio show with him, and he always when something's gonna happen and knowing that Puerto Rican have to do something with the garden, he just grabbed me. Savio, let's do this, let's do that. He's the guy that called me when the 2K16.
Oh, the video game.
The video game for the Stone Cold. He's the one that called me and explained me everything. See him a couple of years back in some signing convention. I have some pictures with him and me. Great guy, man. And listen to him now. That voice never changed through all those years. And he never changed. He was a good person. I hear one time they did a joke to him and destroyed his car. And Vince have him,
in the early days of Raw. He was parked in front of the Manhattan Center.
Yeah, and they destroyed it, and then Vince bring a new one for him. And same happened to Cornette. And one time we did when the Boricuas stole the bikes to the disciples of the Bucklights. Was a big fight, and Cornette's car was right there, and they run into the back windshield and exploded. Nobody told Corny.
He didn't know it was coming.
He don't know nothing. And he's watching live the footage. I mean, that was taped, but when the show was live, he's watching right there, and now he's like, that's my car. And everybody's just looking at him. When they explode that windshield, he went, oh, he went off. He was pissed. He went outside now to see his car. The car was all damaged because the guys wrestled on top of the car. Oh, he was hot.
Was it a rent-a-car or was it his car?
It was his car.
Or was his own personal car?
Because he don't like fly.
Oh, he didn't like to fly. That's right.
He don't like to fly, so he drove, and it was like a Taurus, Ford Taurus or something like that, blue. I remember, like this, you know, like blue. And
now, who put you up to this?
Pardon me?
Who put you up to it?
Well, no, this is the.
It just happened.
Organically. What happened is, we stole the bikes,
right?
The Boricuas. Then the DOA found the Nation of Domination, so they start fighting. That's when one of the guys threw the other one on top of the car and exploded.
But was it a rib where someone from the office said?
No, they just.
Oh, they just happened to do it. Yeah.
They take care of him. They take care of him.
Oh, I can see the explosion that might have come at that point.
I don't remember. Was Papa Chango as Kama?
Yeah, he was Kama Mustafa in the Nation.
They hit the back or something. I don't know. But it was. I almost fall from the bike because they want to do that. They want to do that live. No, sorry, that was live. Yeah, I remember because when the motorcycle happened, I almost ran into the Jose Estrada because we say we need to go fast right away. I don't ride bike. I learned
so this
that
was
day.
new to you, yeah.
I learned that day in a big parking lot they had rented. That show was taped on New Jersey, the hotel area. What do they call them? The casinos area.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. I remember that. So they bring these 4 bikes, Harley Davidson, and I have the idea, but I don't ride it. So when they said good to go, we start running, jumping the bikes, and the starter. And when I just hit, I almost hit Strada, because we say, guys, I'm gonna be the last one, just in case anything happen, just go. So they catch the Boricua's gone. So when I tried to go, Strada's slow. Oh my God! I just hit it, stop right there, and hit again. I turned to the right and I left the bike right there. We have to stay there because the fight was live right now. So that's when Corny see it and just went off. What the? Because he thought it was a joke from the guys, but happened. They just destroy his car. I run here in Boston. Yes. We come a match, was Jake the Snake in the car, and Corny, he scared snakes.
Oh, was he?
Oh my God. And I know that. And I picked Jake's a snake, and I start looking for Corny. Looking. I spot him in the entrance to the ring, talking to somebody. Lights and stuff right here. And I stand up right here, next to him, with the snake. And he just quiet. All of a sudden, he just see a movement, and he just turned. When he turned around, and he saw me, he threw the papers. He started yelling bad words to me. Savio got that beat you something. And he grabbed one of the lights from the floor. Was a big light with the mirror here to move the lasers or whatever. Grabbed that and tried to throw that to me. But it's too heavy. Just hit and break the glass. When that happened, that's when I went like, oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm the one in trouble. So I said, okay. And he started running. He'd gone. And I said, okay, man. I talked to the lighting guy. I said, listen, I saw what happened. Tell me how much and I pay, you know. And he said, he put it on, it started working. I said, don't worry, we replaced the mirror and that's it.
No.
Oh, man, oh. I said, okay. So I just went back. Here's Jake, here's Snake. And just don't bother no more. In England, we went to this theater to wrestle. Old one, because was many dressing room, many doors to different small rooms. And Jake is there. They got a snake and head.
Al Snow?
Al Snow. He scares snakes too.
Is he?
And here come outside, looking for him. Now I went to the small rooms, spot him, and I went like, "Here, brother, how you doing?" When he looked, oh shit! He started running, and I'm running behind him. We look like kids. He's running. He's blah blah blah. Finally, I stopped to laugh, and here come the snake. It was a snake here, and I start getting a big ball like this, like a big softball in the back, and just open and shit. And across the floor, I was
The snake shit on the floor?
I mean, just when it just like explode.
Shit?
Shit.
Oh.
No shit, just shit. I was in socks. Hit the socks. Hit the floor. Awful smell. I'm like, oh, okay, the joke is on me.
And the drib was on you at that point.
Was on me. Okay. I come back. Here's the snake. I'm not gonna touch no more snakes. And I throw the socks out. I mean, I have to clean
I
that.
can
area.
imagine. Yeah.
Oh my God. And see that was on me. So no touching, no more snakes.
You get yourself on that one.
Man. But we have good times.
Let me ask you this one. From WrestleMania 10 itself, it wasn't the first time it was ever used in the company, but the first time certainly on television. The ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, one of the great matches
Good
certainly of the
matches.
90s.
Yes.
Your thoughts on Razor and Shawn's classic that night at Madison Square Garden? Your thoughts on ladder matches in general now that they're so common?
Hey, from that match was the good ideas to the guys to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and have more ladders and more tables and more stuff. you know. And that the only thing that match did was, you know, have great matches after that, you know. And Razor worked hard, Shawn worked hard. I mean, they took a beating with those stairs. Taking a bump in those stairs is not easy, and they did a great job. And from there on, you could see the rest. The story's there.
Well, 26 years later, and it's still remembered as a classic.
Yeah. Good match. I remember those matches. Yes. They worked super mega hard.
I think, not to jump the gun a little bit, but I think the rematch they had when they did a ladder match at SummerSlam 95, I thought that one was actually better than the WrestleMania one. One man's opinion, but
well,
they upped the ante even more so.
But I mean, they have at least they have the first one to measurement, and the rest is just make it better.
Yeah.
Now you see the Edge and Christian, the Hardys.
Oh
What
yeah,
matches.
remember the crazy stuff that they did? Yeah, those two teams and the Dudleys. Yeah.
So what that match, the first match did was to make the rest better.
Made everybody else up the ante when they
Oh,
had the chance to do
That's
it.
true.
Same time frame, coming out of WrestleMania 10, what many probably looked at as a huge upset. Owen Hart, who was generally used as an undercard guy, came away with a pinfall victory over his brother Bret at WrestleMania 10. Bret would go on in the main event to defeat Yokozuna for the World Championship. I thought that was great booking because Bret had a natural challenger that just pinned him the same night going out of WrestleMania 10. Your thoughts on Owen as you saw him, no pun intended after what we just said, but climb the ladder in WWF from undercard to midcard. Now he's main eventing World Championship matches with his brother.
To me, they probably need like more heat for Owen in that time to establish him like one of the top guys. I mean, he needs to be more heat. That's what he needs, like more heat to establish him and keep him there, like his brother. His brother have that type of main event guy. Yokozuna have that. Taker have that. He needs something, in my eyes, to get it more established right there. Because Owen, he was, I mean, a loving guy. I mean, personally, you don't have nothing negative to say about that guy. He's joking, funny guy, happy all the time. If he was upset by something, you never see him upset, you know. Great wife, met her. The first time I met Owen was in All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Really?
I believe he was with New Japan, and I was with All Japan. And we coming out of the hotel or something like that, and I saw him on the street. And the guy that was with me, a Japanese guy, he's Owen Hart wrestler. Oh, how you doing? You know, we met him right there. And then later we see each other working together. And we work together perfect.
I think you're right. I think there was just, not that he wasn't a magnificent wrestler, but I think there was something missing that prevented him from, aside from working with Bret, from reaching that main event level and staying at that main event level. I think he would probably be looked back at as a great upper mid-card wrestler, maybe bottom of the barrel with the main events, but there weren't too many pay-per-view main events with Owen Hart, you know what I mean? And I think there was just something missing from that recipe. Maybe he wasn't dangerous enough, maybe he wasn't heelish enough. He was excellent, he was very good, he was always a lot of fun to watch, he could be humorous.
Other thing you could do is maybe change the clothes or something.
Maybe,
Something to make it establish it right there. Because the wrestling skills, I mean, you don't have to talk about that. That's right there. The timing was everything, but something in the heat that put that face in the map, big time. Was something right there.
I know you weren't active with the company at the time, but do you remember where you were when you learned of the man's passing in one of the true tragedies in wrestling history? That was a tough one.
Man, we had just arrived in Detroit, the Boricuas, because we wasn't in the pay-per-view, and the pay-per-view next day.
You were going to do TV the next day?
Yeah, we were going to do TV. They bring us for just TV. So I have a beeper. Remember?
Oh wow, a beeper.
Yeah, and the news come up. Somebody paged me. I didn't even remember. When they say that, I went like, and I say in Spanish to the guys, this happened. What? What? How? Everybody questioned. I don't know. Just, you know. So when we arrived at the hotel, Quiñones started calling people and checked right away. And yeah. Yeah. And man, I remember I said this story many times. To me, by the time it was very, very funny still to me. We coming from Allentown, the university, and it was snowing. And I coming down and I was driving. Next to me was Jim the Anvil Neidhart. In the back was Owen.
Mm-hmm.
And I driving down, and it was dark, snowing, and I see a deer right there, and I stop. And when I was looking at deer, Owen, before that, he say, "Watch out, watch out!" And I said, "Okay, easy." So, driving slow. Jim said, "Go, let's go, let's go. Go ahead." So I hit the gas. When I hit the gas, I hear this big boom. I'm like, "What?" And Owen started, "Oh my God, you hit it! You hit it! You hit it! You hit it!" And I stopped the car and started looking around for the damn deer. And I always hysterical in the back. "You hit it! You hit it! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!" I'm like, "What happened?" Jim is next to me like this. Look at me like that. He's like, so when I look Jim and he say like "Don't believe it." I just turn around. "You we son of a bitch." And from that point I was laughing and laughing. Every time I remember that, a laugh comes.
What was it that the noise came from if you didn't hit it?
He hit the cylinder of the car.
Oh, okay. And you just didn't see it. I got you.
He hit the cylinder. "Oh my God, watch out!" And I make him, I'm like looking for the deer. "Oh my God, I hit the deer." And man, he was funny. One time in Singapore, between Davey Boy, Owen, and me, we grabbed Dink, and we put it in a.
You're talking about Doink's little midget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dink, and we grab him, put him in a chair, and we put the gaffer tape around him, all over, and we put foam in his head and whatever, cover his face, and was a big hole when we sent him. We sent him out, and he's like, "Well, he can talk." We put tape. We kidnapped him that day. But Owen, man, funny guy. Davey Boy, loved those guys. The times that I have with those gentlemen there is nice.
Did you get a chance to travel a lot with Owen at any period during your run?
I traveled few miles with him. Yes, we one time we come into Pennsylvania from I don't know where, and we hit a blizzard.
Oh.
Ooh.
They'd have the guy from Puerto Rico driving.
No, I wasn't
Oh,
driving.
you weren't driving. Okay.
No, I was
going to say that.
Owen driving. Mm-hmm. One of the Spanish announcer, and he was in English too. Forget the name.
Hugo Savinovich?
No, it was Hugo. Carlos
Cabrera?
is the other one. It was Spanish by the time.
Tito?
No. He wrestled. He just
he just announced?
He was Cuban. The name's coming in the title. And they driving and somewhere we got wrecked. We went to a ditch on the side.
Oh.
And soon that happened, I was in the back sleeping. And they were, "Hey, well, come on, Savio, come on, help us here." So we went outside, checked. Oh, we got lucky that we could take the car out and continue the. No, we are not Pennsylvania. We went to Maine.
Oh, okay.
Went to Maine somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember because we stay Maine area, and was a blizzard. Oh man, and we coming from I didn't even remember right now, but we drove to the hotel. We make it safe that night, but was oof.
So you needed to push yourself out of the ditch?
We need to push the car out, and we got lucky that we made it.
And that it wasn't worse for you guys, never mind the car itself, right?
Well, and that car was rent a car, but we cannot stay there. It was dangerous and nobody around. Nobody. It was big time blizzard. I took few when I was here in WWF working with them, but one of the worst was that one when you on the road, inside the country somewhere, Oh, it's dangerous.
Was it hard for you to get used to the winter weather over here, or did you experience
Do
it
you
in
know
other
what?
countries?
I love, yeah, first one, big time, was in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked in Japan, we got big time blizzard over there too. And I remember the truck that we travel, they have to put the chains on the tires.
Right.
Goes froze big time. And that was by the mountains somewhere in Japan. And we did that in Chicago. I took another one. Oh, I can't even go to Puerto Rico for almost 3 days.
You were in an accident?
No. We stayed in the hotel.
Oh, the blizzard was so bad. I gotcha.
They canceled planes. They
Oh,
canceled
you
everything.
must have loved that.
And I was lucky. I was with my wife. So one of the tours that I bring her, and we left the hotel. I called. Yeah, it's a flight to Puerto Rico. I just run to the airport. Check. I went all the way to the gate. It's canceled.
Oh.
What? I just grabbed the phone right away and called the hotel. I said, listen, I'm coming from room such and such. They said, yes, I need to rent that room again because this is canceled here. Okay, the room is yours. Oh, lucky. Went back.
At least no one took it, right?
Oh, yes. I took back, went back. I mean, I was out for 2 hours. They didn't even clean it. It's like, just keep it
They
like
might
that.
not even have known you were gone.
I just need a bed, a room. So I said to my wife, let's stay here. Stay 3 days with no rush.
Could have been worse cities to be stuck in, I guess, right? Chicago's a kind of a fun place.
Yeah, because that call come from Canada, from heavy.
Right on the water, too.
I like cold because Puerto Rico's hot all the time. So
You like a little break.
Yeah, you need to have good air conditioner. Nice.
Yeah.
You feel fresh. You feel clean. And sometimes over there, just walking now with the mask on.
Oh, my God. It must be horrible with the masks. I didn't even think of that.
They're good.
Well, hopefully to better days ahead. As we wrap up this episode, any final thoughts on the late, great Owen Hart? A man that certainly had more years left in his prime to entertain fans and have fun with the boys.
By Owen, I went to the house where he grew up. By Owen, I met the dungeon.
You went to the dungeon?
I went to the dungeon. We went to his funeral. Vince paid everybody the ticket to go to the funeral. So we all went there, met up the rest of the family. And man, miss that guy. It's like the British Bulldog too. We always, they're relative. And now I saw the British Bulldogs kids. Smith, he wrestled for MLW.
Yeah, Davey Boy
Harry,
Jr.,
Yeah, and Georgina. Remember?
Isn't she trying to get involved somehow in some
She
capacity?
I saw her in one of the TVs by March or February or something like that. Then I don't see her again. So I don't know what they're doing. So I remember them as babies. I remember when Owen's married. I remember when the first kid born. I remember the little baby Dakota from Goldust and Terry. They're babies. Every time we arrive on TV or pay-per-view, Dakota was there. And she saw me, and I was the teddy bear. And she always come to me.
Oh, that's a nice memory.
And I saw pictures of her now, big. It's like, wow.
This tall girl.
I remember her as a baby, a little doll like this,
How can they get so big when we're not getting any older? I don't understand.
Know, man.
I don't know, brother.
I'm 36 right now.
I'm 35 and a half, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But Owen Hart, he's missed. And one thing for the fans at home, I wish more people promoted it and publicized it, but Owen's widow, Dr. Martha Hart, and his son, Oj, they've done a great job with the Owen Hart Foundation, almost a play off of what they were called in WWF as the Hart Foundation, but they do a lot of great work for the needy up in Canada. I don't know the website off the top of my head, but you can easily Google it, Owen Hart Foundation. It is directly run by Owen's wife and his son, and they're doing a lot of great work up in Calgary for the Canadian people to try and keep, almost like what we do with Paul Bearer, to keep Owen Hart's name alive. And it's a man that should be alive, never mind the name.
Oh, man, yes.
Yeah.
Was bad.
Needless.
Bad. Oh, yes.
For nonsense.
Well, the point is that they practiced that before, but That's what they call an accident, you know, but
Did it sell a ticket? Did it sell a pay-per-view?
No,
Did it sell merchandise?
no.
That's the way I look at it. Just a different story for a different time, as we like to say. But we got a lot of stories and we got a lot of different times coming up with you, my friend. As we wrap up this episode, we had another great time talking the winter of 1994, some of the great personalities, some of the big events like WrestleMania 10, the big matches like the first televised ladder match in WWF history. And again, we're not even through March of 1994 again. You may have to relocate here through the entire winter, so you'll never worry about a hot Puerto Rican summer again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go that far, believe me. I'm ready to go to Puerto Rico. We can flip.
Let's do it.
All right, wrestling fans, and my friend Savio Vega, I'm Dan Marati. Until next time, you and yours, be well, more important, stay healthy. Good night. The World Wrestling Federation was sold out at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in New York, New York, Monday, March the 24th, 1980, including an overflow crowd at the Felt Forum. In the opening contest, Bulldog Brower beat Frank Williams. In his MSG debut, Kerry Von Erich with the win over Jose Estrada. Tor Kamada defeated Mike Masters. Larry Zbyszko victorious over Bruno Sammartino via disqualification when Bruno refused to stop choking Zbyszko. Afa beat Dominic DeNucci. WWF World Champion Bob Backlund retained the title over Sika. Andre the Giant and the WWF Intercontinental Champion Pat Patterson defeated Bobby Duncombe and Ken Patera. Rene Goulet with the win over Baron Mikel Cicluna, and Hulk Hogan beat WWF Tag Team Champion Tito Santana. If you were at MSG Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to help keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling.